Hello everybody, my name is Peter Angel. I just want to share with you a little bit about my own awakening and detoxification journey so far. I think really for most of my adult life I've been pretty interested in raising my consciousness and frequency and tapping into that incredible potential that lies within each of us. All started, I think, when I took a year off after school. Anyhow, that was quite a long time ago, and I've explored all sorts of things. I got into macrobiotics initially. I thought grain was the most appropriate food for humans to be consuming the majority of. Little did I know just what level of mucus it produces, and acidity as well. Anyhow, that's another story. So I got into shiatsu and yoga as well. I started looking at my emotional side and the power of my thoughts, and used affirmations quite a bit as well. Got into rebirthing a little. So yeah, I thought I'd looked at myself pretty deep really, but I was starting to notice I was getting more acidity in my digestive system, starting to experience the beginnings of arthritis as I was doing a lot of painting and decorating work in the last 10 years or so. That's been my main job, main source of income. So yeah, as I say, about 2.5 years ago I was starting to notice. I thought, well, I'll look around on the internet, and I'd heard a little bit about raw foods and alkalizing the body, and I was looking around and I came across who else but Dan the Man, the life regenerator, and he was just so alive, so enthusiastic. It was just lovely. He felt like a real brother. And at that time he was talking quite a lot about Dr. Morse as well, and his herbs and how wonderful they were. So I thought, well, what he was saying makes a lot of sense. I thought, well, I must check out Dr. Morse, and boy, when I checked his YouTube videos out, it just like the lights went off. This guy was definitely my next step, and I really couldn't stop watching his videos. There was just a deep resonance on so many levels, you know, not only just the dietary but the spiritual side of it. I thought he was just such a well-balanced, loving, beautiful man with such a clear and simple understanding of how to detoxify and regenerate the body, and it just felt like a real missing key that I wasn't really aware that I was looking for until I found him. So I dived in pretty much straight away, changed my diet pretty radically. Dropped I was having a bit of dairy, dropped all the grain, started eating lots of fruit and vegetables, basically tried to do his fruit all day and salad in the evening, and got a consult with Lashanda because he was so booked up, Dr. Morse, and had my irises done, which was another great insight to really see what level of lymphatic congestion is going on, the level of genetic weakness behind in our bodies. It was a fantastic tool, and one that I've really taken to, and as many of you know, absolutely love sharing with others. So I started doing that, detoxifying myself, using quite a lot of juices, started juicing every day, got a juicer, got a Vitamix, two pretty essential ingredients if you're really interested in cleaning and removing the obstructions and alkalizing your body and hydrating it. So started juicing pretty much every day as well, and I've done various longer juice fasts, gone high on various mono fruits, lemons, oranges, melons, grapes. I've pretty much, yeah, I've been digging pretty deep, but at the same time I've been doing quite a manual job, the painting and decorating, so I've had to constantly balance that. And occasionally I've taken the odd week off here or there, or long weekends, and I've played it like that. Yeah, so got so interested in it, decided to do his level 1 on the DVD. Did his level 1 back in January 2013, and then started going a bit deeper myself into my own detoxification, and started to notice an immediate improvement generally in my aliveness, and just feeling so light and bright and clear. My digestive system was so much more comfortable. Could really feel that internal alkalinity and hydration starting to happen within me. But it took me 9 months to get my kidneys filtering, a really important step, because that's the way the acids are filtered out of the body, out of the lymphatic system carries the acids away from the cells and is filtered out by the kidneys. And you should see sediment in your urine if your kidneys are filtering properly, as many of you know. Got quite interested in playing around with a few herbs as well in my local environment. Made a few tinctures. In fact, I can show you some of those if I have time. I've got a few brewing here on my table. So I was doing that and decided to take the plunge and go over actually in person and do the level 2 intensive in end of October, beginning of November this year, which was a mind-blowing experience. Met so many beautiful people, some of whom I already knew on the Facebook site because I've been pretty involved in that, sharing what I was beginning to understand more, and encouraging others along the way, because I can't help but do that really. So that's pretty much me up to date. I'm still working on my arthritis, I would say. Still getting some trouble a little bit in my thumbs, but I think some of my finger joints are starting to improve. Still working on the head congestion as well, as you can see, a little bit follically challenged. And I notice still a little bit of pressure in the back of my head, a little pressure in my eyes sometimes. And I know removing the lymphatic congestion from your head is deeper levels of detoxification. You tend to clear the other areas in the body first, working from the kidneys up through the body essentially. And obviously arthritis, osteoarthritis, is a very deep-seated condition, so that deep-seated acidity, systemic acidosis for sure, and lymphatic congestion, as are most things, boiled down pretty simply. So I've noticed this summer has been even easier. It is quite a process. You have to be very patient and persistent. I've noticed my eyes, I've kept a close eye on my own eyes. I've noticed small changes. I had quite a lot of lymphatic congestion showing in lymph nodes being blocked. Some of those have disappeared, but there are still some in my eye. The other thing for me is malabsorption. I've had quite deep malabsorption, which again is quite a deep issue. That's definitely better, but there's still, I've used a fantastic, one of his best herbal formulas, the GI Broom, for really cleaning deeply off the walls of the gastrointestinal tract, but also into the walls as well. Really pulls very, very well. I've been using his herbs pretty much throughout 2 years, hardly without a break, and I thoroughly recommend. They are superb. They're tissue specific. That means they're targeted for specific tissues in the body, and they're incredibly balanced and beautifully blended, made with a lot of love, top quality ingredients, top concentration. They are top notch basically. Anyhow, I think that pretty much completes everything I want to show you. I'll just show you quickly some of the herbs. I've been making my own tinctures. It's essentially a bladder and kidney and liver tincture, made from my local environment, gathered from the local canal nearby. And let me show you those. There you go. And as you can see, here we are. I've put this up on the internet occasionally. You can see brewing away here, giving them a little extra power with the crystals on top and the candle lit, just to purify the energy and help concentrate the energy in there nicely. And this one is, I call it the Angel Elixir. It's comfrey, dandelion, horsetail, nettle, plantain, sometimes cleaver in there as well. And simply, it's so simple. Just harvest the herbs, chop them up, mix them up well, put them in these mason jars or kilner jars, they're called in the UK, and top them up with alcohol, 40% vodka, and there you go, brewing away very nicely. Give them a shake every day and you're very well set. A couple of essential oils there, some lavender, and I think the other one's eucalyptus. And if I just pan back, you can see my juice for the day. This one is a lovely grape, organic grape, apple, celery, spinach, coriander, ginger, turmeric, fresh ginger and turmeric in there. It's a beaut. Okay, well, lots of love to you all, and speak to you soon. Lots of love. Bye bye now.